Hello, everyone. So, today we will be talking about the character Jaime Lannister, and we will be seeing how he has evolved in that series over the years. So, it has been actually quite nice. Uh, we have seen the transformation of a person who has gone from a character which was not liked at all to one of the best liked characters in this TV series. So, I think I would give the credit to to the writers for it, and obviously to the real creators of the novel, The Song of Ice and Fire. So this was actually pretty nice. Seeing Jamie, although in the books Jamie is a bit nicer, and in the TV series is not. But let's see. So I have a few clips over here, and we will go through those clips, and we'll see how things how things evolved with him. Okay, and I will also take reference of how he nurtures Brienne of Tarth and helps her become a knight, and how he helps her through various steps in her journey. So let's take a look at that. So I'll play a clip from YouTube, which was perhaps one of the most hated clips of this person. I did not like him at all after watching that scene. So, but let's take a look at that.
Are you completely mad?
He saw us.
It's all right. It's all right. It's all right.
He saw us.
I heard you the first time. Quite the little climb, aren't you? How old are you, boy?
10.
10. The things I do for love.
Okay, the things I do for love. So yeah, this was a cold scene. When I first saw Jamie in the scene, I was like, somebody should kill him. So this, like I said, this was not so nice scene of him. Okay, for those of you who haven't seen Game of Thrones, so Cersei, the girl over here is Cersei, and she is the queen. Jaime is just a king's guard, meaning he's the guard of the king, and Cersei is actually Jaime's sister, and they have a romantic relationship as well, which no one can find out about because Cersei and Jaime belong to a very wealthy family. Obviously, Cersei is a queen, so if these kinds of things come out, it's very bad for her name. So that's why she was openly about. He saw us, and he was like, "Fine, I'm going to do it." Okay, so I'm going to play this scene now. Um, this is a bit of a scene where we get to see that actually Jamie is not as hard as he appears to be. Okay, this is the scene where we see that okay, there are some parts of it, some layers to his personality who are actually soft, and he has loyalty to somebody, and the person who he has loyalty for, he's love he's he'll do anything for those, but the person to whom he's not nice or considers his enemy, he'll do anything to those. So this person over here is Jamie's king, and his new king. He had killed his previous king because he was the mad king, and Jamie did not like certain actions of his. So ever since he killed his king, he was called the Kingslayer. But let's take a look at this video and then see. Uh, then let's talk more.
So get more. Tell your cousin to get in here. Kingslayer! Get in here! Surrounded by Lannisters. Every time I close my eyes, I see their blonde hair and their smug, satisfied faces. Must wound your pride, no? Standing out there like a glorified sentry. Jaime Lannister, son of the mighty Tywin. Forced to mind the door while your king eats and drinks and shits and fucks. So come on, we're telling war stories. Who was your first kill, not counting old men?
One of the outlaws in the Brotherhood.
I was there that day. You were only a squire, 16 years old.
You killed Simon Toyne with the counter riposte. Best move I ever saw.
Good fighter, Toyne. But he lacked stamina.
You're outlaw. Any last words?
I cut his head off, so no.
What about Aerys Targaryen? What did the Mad King say when you stabbed him in the back? I never asked. Did he call you a traitor? Did he plead for a reprieve?
He said the same thing he'd been saying for hours. Burn them all.
Okay. So I don't know if you saw this, but there's a slight smug from him when he says, "I cut his head clean off." So this thing actually shows, this conversation shows that this guy actually loves Jaime. And if you read the books, you will get to know that, yeah, Jaime was very young. In this show, he's a bit older, but he joined the King's Guard when he was very young, 16, 17. And the other guards were older, so they actually looked up to him. They didn't look up to him, but they took him as, as their ward or as a young kid who needs to be taught. He was cared for by those people. And he definitely wanted to be like Sir Arthur Dane, who was a very good sportsman, a very good knight. And I don't remember his name, maybe Sir Alistair or somebody. He actually does like Jaime. Now, the thing that I want to discuss over here is that Jaime said about the Mad King when he asked, what did the Mad King say when he died? So Jaime said he said the same thing he'd been saying for hours, which was burn them all. So Jaime actually was a Kingsguard, okay. And he saw the Mad King burn a lot of people. The Mad King was obviously mad. He was not a king who was supposed to be an ideal. He was a king whom everybody thought should just die. So when Jaime actually, it would have taken a lot of, how should I say, a lot of strong heart for someone to see all those things when he was 17 years old, to see what the Mad King used to do to those people. The kind of ideals that every kid has is to be the defender of right and to protect people and something. Jaime also had that, but once he saw the Mad King at that young age, he got twisted in his mind, okay, which is very normal, which is a very normal thing to happen. And that kind of twist is something which we see in the early seasons in his personality as well. Okay, he does not get along with people mostly because a lot of people judge him for being a Kingslayer. So Ned Stark, his father was burned alive by the Mad King. Now, he was burned alive, but when Jaime and Ned were talking, or Ned had been the hardest critic of Jaime. He was like, "You're not a good person." So let's take a look at the next video and see what was Ned's relationship with Jaime.
Very handsome armor. Not a scratch on it.
People have been swinging at me for years, but they always seem to miss.
Chosen your opponents wisely then.
Must be strange for you, coming into this room. I was standing right here when it happened. It was very brave, your brother. And your father, too. He didn't deserve to die like that. Nobody deserves to die like that.
But you just stood there and watched.
500 men just stood there and watched. All the great knights of the Seven Kingdoms. You think anyone said a word, lifted a finger? 500 men, and this room was silent as a crypt. Except for the screams, of course, and the Mad King laughing. And later, when I watched the Mad King die, I remembered him laughing as your father burned. It felt like justice.
Is that what you tell yourself at night? You're a servant of justice. That you were avenging my father when you shoved your sword in Aerys Targaryen's back. You served him well, when serving was safe. Very handsome armor.
So he says you served him well till serving was safe. So Jaime is actually trying to be friends with Ned. He has always been trying to be friends with Ned, but Ned was stubborn. When he decided his mind was something that this person is not right, he's not going to listen to you. He's made up his mind. Rest everything is bullshit for him. So in the books also you will see that Ned was he didn't hear the explanation about the wildfire and what the Mad King was actually planning to do. He was just judging Jaime. And it is actually pretty common. We do it these days as well, but Jaime was hard to a lot of people because of this only, because he was feeling this constant criticism. So he wore it like an armor that, yeah, I'm that person. What will you do about it? And this specific attitude is what we see when he's actually in that bath scene with Brienne. And this is actually one of the turning points in this character, Jaime Lannister, where earlier he was just a very strong and crazy fighter, and he didn't care about anybody. After that, he was a weaker fighter, and he actually got humbled because of that. When he lost his power, he lost his right hand. He was like, okay, maybe I need to look at things differently, or something happened which actually made him go towards the right track. To some people, especially Brienne. So Jaime lost his hand trying to defend Brienne only, but let's see this anyways.
How's the look? Seen it for 17 years and face after face. You all despise me. Kingslayer. Oathbreaker. Man without honor. You heard of wildfire? Of course. The Mad King was obsessed with it. He loved to watch people burn. The way their skin blackened, blistered, and melted off their bones. He burned lords he didn't like. He burned hands who disobeyed him. He burned anyone who was against him. Before long, half the country was against him. There are traitors everywhere. So he had his pyromancer place caches of wildfire all over the city. Beneath the Sept of Baelor and the slums of Fleet Bottom, under houses, stables, taverns, even beneath the Red King himself. Finally, the day of reckoning came. Robert Baratheon marched from the capital after his victory at the Trident. But my father arrived first. The whole Lannister army at his back, promising to defend the city against the rebels. I knew my father better He's never been one to pick the losing side. I told the Mad King as much. I urged him to surrender peacefully. But the king didn't listen to me. Didn't listen to Varys, who tried to warn him. But he did listen to Grand Maester Pycelle, that grey sunken cunt. You can trust the Lannisters, he said. The Lannisters have always been true friends of the crown. So we opened the gates and my father sacked the city. Once again, I came to the king, begging him to surrender. He told me to bring him my father's head. Then he turned to his pyromancer. Burn them all, he said. Burn them in their homes, burn them in their beds. Tell me if your precious Renly commanded you to kill your own father and stand by while thousands of men, women, and children burned alive, would you have done it? Would you have kept your oath then? First, I killed the pyromancer, and then, when the king turned to flee, I drove my sword into his back. Burn them all, he kept saying. Burn them all. I don't think he expected to die. He meant to burn with the rest of us and rise again. Reborn as a dragon, turn his enemies to ash. I slit his throat to make sure that didn't happen. That's where Ned Stark found me.
If this is true, why didn't you tell anyone? Why didn't you tell Lord Stark?
Stark? You think the Honorable Ned Stark wanted to hear my side? He judged me guilty the moment he set eyes on me. By what right does the wolf judge the lion? By what right?
The Kingslayer!
Jaime. My name's Jaime.
Okay. So we actually saw, this is one of the most iconic scenes of Jaime Lannister, where he actually opens up uh, about his whole life. So the point where he's explaining that the Lannister army came to the gates, he's saying he advised the king not to trust his father because he knew his father better than that. He knew his father would not pick the losing side. So, and his father actually hated Aerys Targaryen, mostly because Jaime was a king's guard, so he couldn't be the heir of Casterly Rock, the thing which Jaime's father hated, because actually Jaime became a king's guard only because Aerys Targaryen hated Tywin Lannister and he robbed him of his best son. So it was kind of a political game in which Jaime was caught, which he also realized towards the end that okay, maybe I'm not chosen for my skill. Maybe I'm chosen because I'm son of Tywin Lannister, and the king just wants to hurt him. Anyways, he tells the king that we shouldn't open the gates. We shouldn't let my father in. So, but he doesn't listen. And the point where he says he didn't listen to me, he didn't listen to Varys, but he did listen to Grand Maester Pycelle, that grey sunken cunt. So it shows that Jaime was actually trying to protect the king even from his own father. Okay, he was actually trying to protect him. Now, when did Jaime snap? He snapped when Aerys Targaryen told Jaime to bring him his father's head. Now, there are two things. There I think Jaime was the perfect person, even from the beginning, because his duty was lying towards his own family, um, rather than his job. So, um, it's funny I'm putting it towards job because sometimes it happens because I can correlate to it as a job family thing. Now, his job is actually protecting the king, but now the king is against his family. So Jamie had his priorities straight. He did not, what should I say, diverge in that moment, or he did not break into pieces that what should I do. He was clear. Okay, you are going against my family. Uh, I'm not going to take it up. I'm not going to tolerate this. So he plunged his sword into his back. Now Targaryens were actually immune to fire, and they did not burn like the rest of them. So that is why Jaime had this fear that he's going to burn and he's going to rise up against again as a dragon. So he slit his throat. So it actually shows how much Jaime got afraid as a child from seeing the Mad King do the things that he was doing. It actually shows the kind of pressure that he was in when he actually has plunged his sword and he's slashing his neck. So it was a difficult scene, and he's opened up that what would you have done? Because everyone was judging him. Now he didn't crack before. He saw judgment on him, but before he didn't used to say anything. But now his hand was cut off. His main strength was off. So he's down to his naked self and he's saying, okay, what would you have done? You are judging me. What would you have done? So this is actually a point where everybody started loving Jamie. Everybody in the audience, every one of his fans. So this particular scene, I guess, is attributed only to the actor. Obviously, being a writer, you can plot the whole story, but this particular scene, when the emotions just flipped, actually, I think the credit is going to go to this actor only, no one else. Now, there are two things over here. Jamie loves his family, so he's going to do anything for it. But Brienne is not his family. But Brienne is someone who he really likes and mentors as well. So in this specific scene, he's giving his sword to Brienne of Tarth, which is a big gesture because you are giving the best thing that you have um, to someone, or the best thing that ever existed to someone. So that actually means a lot. So let's take a look at it.
Valyrian steel.
It's yours.
I can't
It
accept
was reforged from Ned Stark's sword. You'll use it to defend Ned Stark's daughter.
You swore an oath.
To return the Stark ghost to their mother. Lady Stark's dead. Arya's probably dead too, but there's still a chance to find Sansa and get her somewhere safe. I've got something else for you. I hope I got your measurements right.
I'll find her. For Lady Catelyn. And for you.
I almost forgot. I have one more gift.
Okay. So he gave his sword to Brienne so that she can fulfill her oath. Now, this is an ironic scene as well because Jaime is the oath breaker and he's helping somebody keep their oath. So this actually shows that he has now opened up to Brienne, and she is one of the persons who are close to his heart, and not like a lover, but as a mentor only. Jaime considers himself as her protector, that he has to guide her and keep her away from harm and make sure that he achieves her objective. So it's like a teacher student relationship in the best ways. So this looks like a very much good turning point for Jaime and a very good relationship between those two. So this is good writing.
I never thought you'd find her. I just assumed Sansa was dead.
Why would you assume that?
In my experience, girls like her don't live very long.
I don't think you know many.
So this is a scene where when Jaime is fighting somebody. This is at Harrenhal. Now she is there to convince Blackfish to surrender and walk out of there, but Jaime has surrounded Blackfish from all sides. So technically, it's not possible for any help to go inside. But since it's Brienne who has come for help, Jaime is willing to listen. So let's take a look at that.
Girls like her.
Well, I'm proud of you. I am. You fulfilled your oath to Catelyn Stark against all odds. Of course, my sister wants Sansa dead. The girl's still a suspect in Joffrey's murder, so there is that complication. What the hell are you doing here?
I've come for the Blackfish.
You're welcome to have him.
Lady Sansa desires to take her ancestral seat back from the Boltons and assume her rightful position as Lady of Winterfell.
With what army does she plan on taking Winterfell?
The Tully army.
They're a bit occupied at the moment. I was sent here to reclaim River Run, currently defended by the Tully rebels, so you can see the conundrum.
The Tullys are rebels because they're fighting for their home?
River Run was granted to the Freys by royal decree.
As a reward for betraying Robb Stark and slaughtering his family.
Exactly. Shouldn't argue about politics.
You're a knight, Sir Jaime. I know there is honor in you. I've seen it myself.
I'm a Lannister. Don't ask me to betray my own house.
I do no such thing. Take River Run without bloodshed. Ride south again with your mission complete and your army intact.
What do you propose?
Allow me to enter River Run under a flag of truce. Let me try to persuade the Blackfish to give up the castle.
Why would he abandon his ancestral home?
Because you'll allow him to lead the Tully forces safely north.
Have you ever met the Blackfish?
No.
He's even more stubborn than you are. All right. Try to talk some sense into the old goat. He won't listen, but his men might. Not everybody wants to die for someone else's home.
I need your word. If I persuade him to abandon the castle, you'll grant us safe passage north.
You have my word. You have until nightfall.
You gave it to me for a purpose. I have achieved that purpose.
It's yours. It will always be yours.
One last thing, Sir Jaime.
Yes, Lady Brienne.
Should I fail to persuade the Blackfish to surrender, and if you attack the castle, honor compels me to fight for Sansa's kin.
Of course it does.
To fight you.
Let's hope it doesn't come to that.
Okay. So he obviously agrees to let her talk to Blackfish. Now, if there was anybody other than Brienne, he wouldn't have let that happen. He wouldn't have let anyone go in because he's fighting for his house, and this is what he says as well in a video in this scene, that don't ask me to betray my own family. Now, okay, hold on. Okay, so, and Brienne says, okay, I'm not asking you to betray your family, but I just need to talk to him. The other thing which we see is that Brienne says that in case I fail to persuade, I'll have to fight you. Now, Jaime is actually very sad about it. He does not want to fight Brienne, but he's saying, okay, let's hope it doesn't come to that. So that's his optimism. That's the optimism of this character. Although he has had significant troubles when he was young, but he actually overcome them, and he actually overcome them in a positive way. And he has become wise enough to hope even in this scenario that, okay, let's hope it doesn't come to that. So this is actually the kind of character that everybody loves. So this was actually a nice scene. Good writing. Okay, there was one more scene. Let me pull that up.
Create PDF spaces in a click. Connect your...
Okay. This is actually one of the best scenes which happened in Game of Thrones, where everyone that Jaime had hurt before was standing in front of them and was just accusing them. And in his defense were only two people. One of them was his brother Tyrion, and the other one was Brienne herself. So this was a good scene, especially the point where Bran says the things we do for love, and Jaime just goes quiet. So let's take a look at that.
When I was a child, my brother would tell me a bedtime story about the man who murdered our father, who stabbed him in the back and cut his throat, who sat down on the Iron Throne and watched as his blood poured onto the floor. He told me other stories as well, about all the things we would do to that man once we took back the Seven Kingdoms and had him in our grasp. Your sister pledged to send her army north.
She did.
I don't see an army. I see one man with one hand. It appears your sister lied to me.
She lied to me as well. She never had any intention of sending her army north. She has Euron Greyjoy's fleet and 20,000 fresh troops. The Golden Company from Essos, bought and paid for. Even if we defeat the dead, she'll have more than enough to destroy the survivors.
We?
I promised to fight for the living. I intend to keep that promise.
Your Grace, I know my brother.
Like you knew your sister.
He came here alone, knowing full well how he'd be received. Why would he do that if he weren't telling the truth?
Perhaps he trusts his little brother to defend him, right up to the moment he slits my throat.
You're right, we can't trust him. He attacked my father in the streets. He tried to destroy my house and my family, the same as he did yours.
Do you want me to apologize? I won't. We were at war. Everything I did for my house and my family. I'd do it all again.
The things we do for love.
So why have you abandoned your house and family now?
Because this goes beyond loyalty. This is about survival.
You don't know me well, Your Grace. But I know Sir Jaime. He is a man of honor. I was his captor once. But when we were both taken prisoner and the men holding us tried to force themselves on me, Sir Jaime defended me. And lost his hand because of it. Without him, my lady, you would not be alive. He armored me, and sent me to find you and bring you home. Because he'd sworn an oath to your mother.
You vouch for him.
I do.
So over here, actually, as you saw, that Tyrion and Brienne actually defended him quite well. Tyrion was absolutely nervous, feeling almost hopeless on how he might defend. On Tyrion's part, the last season was not that great. It was like he was not given enough material to work on, and all he had was his acting skills, which he used to the best of his extent. But there could have been some better writing for Tyrion at least. His last season was not comparable to the first few seasons in which he was present. So, anyways, they did end up saving Jaime Lannister. And this is the part where Jaime knights Brienne. Now, why did I take up Brienne in this specific video? Because a person is as good as how he treats the ones who are beneath him. And although Brienne was strong, but still, he guided her through a lot of steps, and she was not related to him at all. So, this actually shows that Jaime Lannister was actually a nice character in just bad situations. So let's take a look at this video.
Sir Brienne of Tarth defeated the Hound. Pardon me, Lady Brienne.
She's not a sir. You're not the knight.
Women can't be knights.
Why not?
Tradition.
Fuck tradition.
I don't even want to be a knight.
I'm no king, but if I were, I'd knight you 10 times over.
You don't need a king. Any knight can make another knight. I'll prove it. Kneel, Lady Brienne. Do you want to be a knight or not? Kneel.
So this goes on, and he knights her. So this was the one scene where I actually said that he's more like a teacher, because he said kneel, and she was like, she laughed, and he said, "Do you want to be a knight or not?" So that's kind of how tough teachers are sometimes. So this was the point which made me realize that he's like her guardian, who is guiding her, teaching her, and protecting her all throughout her journey. And she ultimately became a knight whom she wanted to be. And a significant portion of it was accomplished by Jaime, his help, but obviously Brienne had her own efforts, but Jaime was there as a help, and it actually matters a lot. So I hope you like this video. This was one video in my series where we are going to discuss some characters, not just in Game of Thrones, in others as well, in some movies as well. So if you like the video, do subscribe and like, and leave a comment saying what you think about this. Thank you.